everybody joining live, and hello to those watching the replay. God, I can't think. It's Monday. It's not even early. It's 11 o'clock. Okay, so basically what I wanted to talk to you all about is self-image and how we see ourselves, which is often an internal concept, believe it or not. It's kind of all constructed within our own mind, our own brain. Let me just turn this off because I'm actually watching myself on a page at the same time, which is really, really off-putting. So just let me do this. But there was this book wrote many years ago now. I don't know what. Hi, everybody joining live. Just comment below and say hi when you come on. I'm not sure what years, but it was probably like maybe 60s, 50s, 60s. And it was written by Maxwell Maltz, who wrote a book called PsychoCybernetics. And you can get that book. It's a very old book now. But the basic premise of the book is this. He was a plastic surgeon. And what he found out was that he used to obviously give people plastic surgery. And some of those people would come in with like confidence issues about what they look like and you know, how they felt about themselves and everything like that. And some of these people would have amazing plastic surgery, you know, look, completely change the way they looked. They say they had a problem with their nose and they'd get a nose job and they'd come away and you know, they had an amazing nose after that, and they'd go away and be like so happy and oh my god, I look so great, and their confidence would soar in themselves because their nose changed, whatever it was. And then you'd have other people with exactly the same problem, again, maybe it was their nose or whatever it was like about them, and they'd come in, they'd have the plastic surgery, they'd look great, but they still would feel absolutely rubbish about themselves. And what he figured out was that it wasn't just the external that was making these people feel a certain way, it was the self-image or the self-concept they had of themselves within their own minds that was keeping them feeling a certain way. And this is what we find obviously in eating disorders as well. That's a very common thing where you basically see yourself differently in the mirror than you actually are looking on the outside, if that makes any sense. Hi Soma, how you doing? So often that sort of mental self-image and the external self-image can be two separate things. So what he did with people literally was he guided them through some meditations or he got them to visualize themselves exactly how they wanted to be, and he got them to do this regularly. And what he found was when they changed the internal concept of themselves, they got all this confidence and self-worth, and they felt differently about themselves. And this is so, like, I mean, you know, NLP teaches this now and all this kind of stuff, but this was like one of the original times this was ever spoken about, this sort of idea of the self-concept or the self-image. And we all have this internal self-image of ourselves. And a lot of us in business, can sort of see ourselves, you know, maybe the same way we did as when we were kids, or, you know, something that happened to us at whatever age it was, and it made us see ourselves as not fully powerful, or maybe we're not allowed to be powerful, or not a leader because we're not a leader, you know, oh, you know, me, no, I can't be a leader. Or maybe just not good enough, or maybe a shy person, or maybe someone that doesn't follow through on things, or it could be, you know, a billion different things. But if you look at your own sort of self-concept in your mind and how you see yourself, do you see yourself as someone who's strong, powerful, a leader to others, someone who can really help guide someone and get them results and get them the help that they need and want? And, you know, absolutely help your clients? Are you someone who is deserving of money in your self-concept and your self-image? Are you someone who easily attracts clients and money and can sort of charge those high-end fees for your programs? Is that how you see yourself? And often we can get caught up in sort of self-images that are trapped in, you know, not trapped in the past necessarily, but they've come from the past and we've never updated them. So things might have happened in our lives, and it's like we've never updated that concept or that self-image of ourselves. So whether it's from teenage years, like at college or school or whatever it might be, but we have those kind of concepts in our minds. So what I always train my clients to do, and what I speak a lot about in terms of mindset, is to literally, you know, obviously you're creating your own reality, so you can go in and imagine those things, but imagine yourself how you would be in that new reality. And this is what I call like the virtual reality that I always talk about, and daydreaming, like, you know, see through your own eyes, if that, you know, if that's the most empowering place you can be. For some people, maybe it's watching themselves, and that, you know, it emphasizes the feeling more. Working on this daily, Emma, that is so cool, Soma. Yeah, exactly. And it's so important to do that. And another thing I would say is, when you're working on this and you're doing this kind of self-imaging work, and you're working on seeing yourself as you want to be, and you're getting into the feeling state of that, because that is the key, is always getting into the feeling state. And when you get into that feeling state powerfully, that's when it really, really starts to shift. What I noticed, and this actually happened to me in relationships, was when I was still, you know, attracting kind of idiots, you know, God bless them. I was attracting idiots into my life, and that was totally my responsibility, right? And I started imagining myself looking into the eyes of my ideal guy, whatever it was. And what I noticed was when I was visualizing this, that guy was not looking at me. He kept looking away. And I was like, why is it that in my visualization, this guy is looking away from me and I can't imagine him fully being present with me and fully looking at me? And obviously I would attract guys that wouldn't give me enough time, or they would just not really be interested in me, or not valuing me, not wanting to commit to me, and not be really emotionally present with me. That's the kind of guy I was attracting at the time. So I noticed that in my visualization I literally wasn't allowing, you know, visualizing that person giving me that attention that I wanted, or the, you know, just the presence, the value, like the value wasn't reflected in that person, let's say it like that. So I would always watch for places in your visualizations where maybe something actually, you know what, I'm noticing that actually this isn't happening. Maybe I'm noticing that when I'm imagining, you know, working with my ideal clients, maybe they're not that happy about working with me, or, you know, I'm imagining a kind of struggle around getting them to pay, or there's, you know, they maybe have objections around signing up, or maybe, I don't know, when I'm imagining myself, you know, being out there in the real world, there's something else that's going on that actually isn't as, you know, ideal as I'd like it to be. And sometimes this is just our unconscious mind showing us that actually this is the belief we're holding, or this is a self-concept we have of ourselves. And it can be a really powerful thing to actually watch, you know, watch our own visualizations from an objective point of view and seeing what's going on, because it's the unconscious making itself known in terms of, well, actually you're actually believing this and you need to shift this. And it's as simple like what I did with that situation with the guy was literally intentionally start visualizing this guy looking at me and giving me sort of like presence and attention, and not just like his gaze wandering off and just not really being present with me at all. So I intentionally worked on that and did that, and it really shifted things. That's really interesting. I do a visualization exercise before I go to bed. We'll look out for any cues which are not good. Exactly. And it's so subconscious, because obviously our sort of negative beliefs and a lot of our positive beliefs as well are kind of subconscious, and it's only when we become aware of them and then we're like, oh my god, why am I doing that, or I never knew I believed that, or whatever it is, and then we can shift them. It's only when the unconscious becomes conscious that we can shift it often, right? So it's a good little technique to just notice that and notice any places where that might be happening. And it's happened for me tons of time. I remember when I was working on my mindset for sales and stuff like that, just realizing that actually, you know what, I was imagining sort of getting on the phone with clients, and that actually it wasn't fun. And for me, I'm all about fun and excitement, and hi Debbie, and you know, things being like great and happy and blah 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 and all positive. And I was imagining it kind of being this heavy energy, and I was like, why is it this heavy energy? Why not I turn it into the fact that it's really great fun to be on the phone on a sales conversation with someone? And then that shifted everything as well. And it's just noticing where actually my visualization and my self-concept of what's going on is actually not in alignment with what I want. And sometimes it's so unconscious we can't see it. And that's why obviously, you know, hiring coaches is a great thing to do, because you can have that feedback, and sometimes it's so much obvious to someone else, but it is possible to do on your own sometimes, you know. And as you work through this and create these kind of self-images in your mind of who you want to be, what you want to become, and what you're going towards and aiming towards and creating and manifesting in your life, just be aware of anything that might be out of alignment with your ideal vision. And why, you know, does it feel good? Like, are the feelings what the feelings you want? Because for me it's about fun and excitement. For you maybe it's about love or peace or gratitude or appreciation. There's all different positive, you know, feelings that we all go after, and we normally have that one main sort of ideal emotion that we're all chasing. For me often it's excitement, because I'm, you know, I thrive on variety and stuff like that, and change and fun kind of things. For other people it might be security or peace or joy or you know, all manner of different things, right? Abundance is another one. Okay, so just find what it is for you and just notice, are my visualizations feeling like this? When I'm imagining myself being this kind of successful person that I want to be, am I feeling this way about it as well? Are all the parts of it feeling this way? Because that's often why when some of the parts of it don't feel that way, we kind of put it off and don't do it and don't follow through, because it feels like boring, or it feels, you see, I notice that I use the word boring, which is the opposite of excitement, right? It might feel, I don't know, negative in some way, whatever the opposite emotion is for you, because there's emotions that we go towards, and there'll be one major emotion in your life that you're actually trying to pull away from the whole time. For me it's boredom and excitement, right? And for you it'll be something different, or it might be the same, but it'll be something different. It's something you can notice as well, like, is there anything that's feeling sort of not great, and is there anything I want to go towards that I'm not in sort of incorporating into this visualization and who I am as a person? But literally, the way we see ourselves can literally stop us from standing up and stepping into our power and being the people we need to be in our business to get those clients and that money coming in. Because we need to be leaders. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to believe in our ability to get clients results and know that we can get them results, and obviously see that as well. We need to believe in our clients. We need to be in alignment with the amount of money we want to receive in the world, and all this kind of stuff. And that all comes from our self-concept, which is, you know, built up of a whole heap of beliefs about ourselves and decisions we've made and rules that we've created around things as well, which is a whole other topic we can go into at some point. But that's the main thing. And one sort of powerful question I wanted to leave you with as well is, if I was that 5K per month or 10K per month business owner, what would I be believing about myself, right? Who would I be? What would I look like? What would be the actions I'm taking? What energy would I wake up with every day? What are sort of the internal thoughts or feelings I would have about things? How would, you know, what actions would I be taking ultimately as well? So just sort of go through those questions and really think about that, and that can literally create the foundation of that visualization you can create daily to feel yourself into that. Like I say, it's about the feeling, visualizing, and sometimes you'll visualize first and then the feeling will come second, because sometimes at first it might be hard to get that feeling state because our minds are not in a place of being able to feel it, if that makes sense, because our minds are trained to feel a certain other thing about that thing. For example, sales conversations, it might be you are trained to feel fear or icky or whatever else it might be around selling. We need to retrain that association, and that's what this visualization also helps to do as well. Totally, people can totally see past you if you don't believe in yourself. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it's as within so without, right? So when we believe in ourselves, that is reflected back to us. If we don't believe in ourselves, we have this kind of like, oh, I'm not sure, I think I can get you results, or, you know, yeah, I think, you know, if you sign up with me, blah, 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 then obviously that's just going to be reflected back. It always is, you know, as within, so without, and we're just, the universe is just reflecting back to us ourselves and our beliefs and our concepts and our perception and all of that kind of good stuff. So ask yourself those questions, really, like go deeply into this and really think, if I was earning those 5 or 10K months each month consistently, and I was having an amazing time in my business, I was loving it, what would I be believing about myself, my business, whatever maybe area that maybe is tricky for you, whether that's selling or believing in yourself, or I don't know, your ideal client, whatever it might be that you feel like you're struggling with at the moment. Just ask yourself those questions, and it can really, really get you to the core of what it is you need to believe about yourself to actually go and create that in your life. And it's just a really powerful way to, like I say, start doing those visualizations and seeing yourself as a person you want to be. And that's how you change your self-concept. And then once you change your self-concept, your self-image, and you're being that person in the world, because that's ultimately where our feelings about ourselves come from, and where our actions come from as well, is often that self-concept or self-image. Then we'll start acting in that way. And that's why I always say, like, feel the fear and do it anyway is a load of BS, because it doesn't have to be that way. You can literally recreate who you are in your mind before that. You can recreate that you're a very confident speaker and go out and give a talk or a live stream before you get to that place, if that makes any sense. You really can rewire your brain, literally, that's how it is in sort of neuroscience, before you have the event, because the brain doesn't know the difference between a real and a vividly imagined event. And what we're trying to get you to do is vividly imagine continually the event that you want to have happen, and then what happens is it manifests in the outside world exactly as you want it. And it can be that simple. It's just about doing the work, and where we often sort of fall down is actually doing the work regularly and getting into the feeling place of it. But it's totally possible. And I hope that's helped you. Please, if you've got any questions, like I say, comment on this live stream below. I'll come back and answer them, obviously. And you can always PM me if you've got any questions as well. And if you're not a member of my group already, hop over to Marketing, Manifestation and Mindset. Hi, Angela. That'll be great to see you there. And yeah, I will speak to you all very, very soon. And if you like these live streams, please do share it with your friends, because I'd like to get some more people that are needing help with sort of hitting their first 5K month or beyond, and just sort of need that marketing or mindset tweak. So I hope you're having a great Monday, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Bye bye.